What is going on, everybody? Thank you all so much for tuning into another important segment of MCSC, and I am, of course, as always, your dedicated and humble host, Niko House. Of course, I want to thank everyone who is on our Patreon. And if you want to help support the network and the show, you can do so by going to www.patreon.com/MCSC, or you just click on the link below. It's perfectly fine with me. It's probably the easier way to do it. And also, I want to thank everyone who has already joined us on JustNForm.com. Come be part of this evolution in social media that we've started. So, as a lot of you probably already have figured out by now, Ro Khanna has endorsed Ocasio. Now, if you don't know what Ocasio is, she is the definition of a rising star, not like Kamala. Kamala's not a rising star. Donors just gave her money, and now they're like, oh, vote for her now because we spent a lot of money for you to act like you don't know what the hell she has done in her past. But Ocasio is a legitimate rising star. In fact, one of my favorite lines from her, she said, not all Democrats are alike. Because, most Democrats won't say that. Bernie Sanders won't say that. I love Bernie, but Bernie won't say that. A lot of people won't say that. Tulsi, I don't even know if Tulsi says that. I love Tulsi. Tulsi hasn't said something like that. That's a really provocative thing to say, especially when you're on the national stage, because people believe that it can alienate, cooperation from the Democratic Party when you're trying to get legislation done. So for her to say that, Ocasio shows that she does have bold character and a lot of integrity, and that she's just simply willing to speak the truth because it is the truth. So the problem with Ro Khanna's endorsement was that it came a little late. He first endorsed Crowley, and Jimmy Dore hopped on this almost immediately. And he did give Ro Khanna an opportunity to explain himself. I do want to be honest, and he said, well, Crowley, he passed some, or he signed some marijuana legislation. Like, yeah, it's where the wind's blowing. You don't want that on your record, but okay. He did a couple of other things that benefited Ro Khanna politically. Got it. But Ro Khanna's excuse was more or less pathetic as to why he didn't endorse a more progressive candidate. Here's the issue with Ro Khanna. He is a supposedly progressive congressman out of Silicon Valley in California. He is also what they call a Justice Democrat. Ocasio is also a Justice Democrat, and also clearly more progressive than Ro Khanna. Ro Khanna endorses Crowley, and like I said, he gives a litany of excuses as to why he did. And that sounds good. It really does. And he makes it seem as if it was, a decision that he came to on his own because all the progressives around the world started contacting him and told him, hey, you have to endorse this woman. And people, he said he wasn't following the Ocasio campaign close enough, and that's why he endorsed Crowley. But my thing is, why would you endorse Crowley against a potential progressive? One, right? First thing, because you endorsed him because he was running against somebody. If it was already Crowley versus whoever the Republican contender may be, he probably wouldn't even need your endorsement. But you as a progressive come out and endorse the corporate candidate, and you're a Justice Democrat, and the whole reason y'all were created was to supposedly take down corporate candidates. You also endorse Pelosi. You're starting to see the problem here. But what's more is that somebody who was close to Ro Khanna's, I won't say administration, but to him as a person who has been able to have contact with him, said that Ocasio reached out to Ro Khanna initially and asked for an endorsement. Within minutes, he refused via email. Minutes. didn't ask what her platform was, didn't do more research before making the decision. He just flat out rejected her. So Ro Khanna's kind of lying and being misleading. It wasn't that he didn't know who she was. It's that he did, but he was asked to do otherwise because Ro Khanna seems to lack a backbone, especially one that progressive needs to introduce and fight for progressive legislation that's going to benefit everybody. So it wasn't a matter of, well, I had to co-endorse them because I just wanted to stay out of it, and I didn't realize she was that progressive, and blah, 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 blah. You didn't do any research. But you chose to stay that ignorant so that you could endorse the corporate candidate that you as a Dutch Justice Democrat is supposedly trying to fight against. So Jimmy Dore, does what he does, rips him a new one. Ro Khanna simply was just not getting it. Like, if you saw the debate, Ro, what you could have easily done, it was like 15 minutes total. You would have saw Ocasio was the clear progressive in that situation. But hell, you don't even have to watch the debate. You say you like staying out of races because that's what he said on Jimmy Dore's show. If it's too contentious, you like staying out of them. Depending on the candidate, personally, he likes staying out of them. But in this particular race with one of the most high-profile corporate candidates, you're going to sell yourself out like this and then co-endorse to save your butt because then people contacted him directly like, what the hell are you doing? Did you not know people were paying attention to this race? So, thank you, Jimmy, for putting the pause on him. Verbally, of course. Okay? Not literally. So, I still don't know how to feel about Ro Khanna. I just feel like he lacks a backbone. I don't think he's nefarious. I don't think he's a corporate shill. But I think that he kind of came into the movement with literally no idea what he was getting himself into and thought that he could just do and say how he felt like and people would still like him without holding him accountable. But when you put yourself on that Justice Democrat platform, you at the very bare minimum got a lot of TYT people watching you, definitely a lot of California watching you, and people like me watching to see what the hell you're doing with your every move because you claim to be progressive, and I don't believe most of the Democrats are progressive. I don't even think y'all should be a thing. That's a different conversation for a different day. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much for tuning in, and always remember, more than anything else, find your balance. See you on JustNForm. Peace.